Chapter 15. Do certain foods produce more gas than others? Saturday mornings are crazy at our house. Even before breakfast was over, my dad was on the phone calling for a babysitter. He was taking my mom to a QRDO, a quiet, romantic dinner out in the evening. None of my grandparents could come watch us, and neither could my Uncle Dennis. My mom was busy too. She was making a grocery list and checking the refrigerator and cupboards. Calvin was in his white lab coat. He had finally settled on a science project that Uncle Dennis suggested, and he was working on it at the kitchen table. And Annabelle, Lucy, and I were hanging out, watching Saturday morning cartoons and multitasking. Annabelle was waiting for Calvin to turn her into a guinea pig. Lucy was doing her yoga ball routine, and I was busy wrapping my present for the party. Broccoli, said Calvin. Would you get me broccoli, Mom? My mom scribbled it on her list. Cauliflower, too, Calvin added, and cabbage. My mom scribbled, then she stopped. She looked at Calvin. Also, green peppers and onions, said Calvin. My mom's eyes grew big and round. Whatever happened to candy, potato chips, and ice cream, she asked. Those too, said Calvin. The vegetables are for my science project. I hope it requires you to eat them, said my mom. It does, said Calvin. Great, said my mom. My kind of science project. Then my mom looked at me. Any requests from you, Alvin? I shook my head. I like everything, I said. It's true. I eat whatever's in front of me. I'm not a picky eater like Calvin. I like everything too, said Annabelle. Are you ready for your party, sweetheart? My mom asked me. Yup, I said. I can't wait. That's a big change coming from you, said my mom. Yup, I said. I had a talk with Dad. My mom nodded. I'm glad you did, she said, smiling at me. I smiled back. I love my mom. He's even got his outfit laid out on his bed, said Calvin. My mom looked very pleased. Alvin, said my mom, sometimes you really surprise me. I nodded. Sometimes I really surprise me too, I said. And that's a good wrapping job, by the way, my mom added, going out the door. If I were the birthday girl, I'd be very happy to receive it. My chest filled like a large hot air balloon, and I floated up, up, up above my house. If my mom were the birthday girl, I'd give her 132 kisses. Do certain foods produce more gas than others? Calvin wrote across the top of his display board. What does that mean? I asked. For this experiment, you'll eat different foods, said Calvin, and we'll see which ones give you the most gas. What foods? I asked. The ones I asked Mom to get, said Calvin. Broccoli, cauliflower, onions, cabbage, green peppers. We already have baked beans, and if you're lactose intolerant like Dad, there's milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. Ice cream, I screamed. I love ice cream. When do I start? Right now, said Calvin. Today is ice cream day. Tomorrow will be broccoli day, and the day after that, cauliflower day, and so on. Hooray, I said. Hooray, said Annabelle. Ow! Cried Lucy. She loves ice cream too, especially when she can lick it off of Annabelle. We hurried to the freezer. Calvin is a regular backhoe when it comes to scooping out ice cream. Someday he'll work in an ice cream shop. He's very talented in that way. Calvin, I said, you're going to be the best ice cream scooper in Concord. Yup, said Calvin, making himself a hill of double-troubled chocolate rubble. But for today, I'm just going to be a guinea pig like you and Annabelle. I love science, I said, shoveling mint chocolate cookie into my cheeks. Me too, said Calvin. Is this going to turn me furry? Asked Annabelle. I can't wait for baked bean day, I said. I don't like baked beans, said Calvin. They're too sweet and slimy, but they do give you the most gas. Bombs, I said. Real bombs, said Calvin, like the kind that blew up Concord in the old days. I laughed. Calvin laughed. My brother, Calvin's really great. He's usually running around from karate lessons to baseball practice to Boy Scouts to something else. He does it all, which means he's rarely in a talking mood. But when he's in a talking mood, it's like talking to my best friend. You're going to be the greatest scientist in the world someday, I said, slurping my ice cream. Yup, said Calvin, also slurping. I'll build a spaceship and blast you off to the moons of Jupiter. Can you put a tractor there too, I asked. I'd like to ride a tractor out there. Sure, said Calvin. Slurp. But I just want to be a guinea pig, said Annabelle. Burp, I replied.